time the show gets really fun because we've had 2 mixology segments. We're forcing the drinks on our guests.
And I've been yelled at for drinking out of a styrofoam cup.
I personally think it's classy. I love it.
I mean,
we're making up for it right here with our crystal.
Okay, show off.
So the man of the hour this morning is morning show host from 103.7 Light FM, Tony Zazza.
Tony Zazza.
Hello, ladies.
What a great name you have.
Thank you.
Tony Zazza.
I have to admit, I was really nervous. Julie and I were talking about it this morning, and I said, I've never been nervous about being on TV except now because it's he says, she says.
Oh my gosh, because we put you on the spot?
I said they should totally rename it the Lion's Den. And she's like, oh, you're going to come back and it's going to be nothing but bones. They're going to eat you alive. Because I don't even know what we're talking about.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we're going to take it really easy on you. So yes,
No.
of course. No. And this is usually what we'll do is we'll bring up some kind of a topic and it can be something that we would normally even talk about during our table talk segments. But it's so fun to invite a male guest on and get their perspective because oftentimes it's very different than a female perspective. So
that whole men are from Mars, women are from
morons.
it's so
Yeah, I
true.
get
So we found this article, and Courtney, you'll love me for this.
That's sweet. Which means it's about being single and why you're single. Probably.
Here are the 7 people you should blame if you are still single.
My mom.
Your crush. If you have a crush on somebody,
Are you single, Tony?
No.
Tony's not single. I asked him that during the break. But I think that if you have somebody else who is taking up space in your brain, and I speak from experience, it was this way with Scott. He was always in my head, so it didn't matter who I went on a date with.
But then he fell in love with you, so.
Well, then there's that.
So if there's somebody that I'm crushing on, I need to yell at them about this.
You need to just stop crushing on them. The other one is your ex. Have you ever had that situation where you get hung up on the person? Maybe you're not even still in love with them, but they're still sort of hanging on in your brain somehow, some way.
I think it's hard to get rid of an ex in your brain because they're your only. I mean, and I still reference exes all the time, and I haven't been in a relationship in 2 years, but I think the reason is because they're your only point of reference. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and the ex that lingers is the one that is the most annoying of all.
Right.
It's like, okay, we're done, move on, you do your thing, I'm going to do my thing, but they still linger and try to pop up, and it's like, go
They
away.
pop up every 6 months. It's like a disease you can't get rid of.
Need an ointment for it.
It's like a rash that keeps coming back every 6 months.
Is it different for men than it is for women, though? I mean, do you think that men have a tendency just to go, okay, we're done, bye-bye, and women are the hanger-oners?
I think, truth be told, that, obviously there's more of an emotional attachment at the end of it for women than there is men. I think a lot of men are, a lot easier to go, okay, we're moving on, bye-bye, but...
Do you think it's that they're easier to move on, or they just hide it better? Whereas women, like, if we see that boy at the bar, we're like, oh my God, there he is, oh my God, there he is, oh my God, I'm gonna freak out.
And all your
Whereas
girlfriends are
guys
like, oh my gosh, let me check your hair. Okay, wait, no, you need to go to the bathroom, you just fix your
Whereas
makeup.
guys are kind of like... I'm over. Like, they're not necessarily over it, but they can hide it.
It's the cool factor. They want to, put up that front, the facade of, I'm done, I'm moving on. But in the back of our minds, we're like, oh, really? There she is. Who's she with?
Why do guys do that? Why can't they just be, like, normal? And
Why are y'all so dumb?
I don't know that I should respond. Here we go. It's heating up now.
Okay, who else do I need to blame for being single? So we have my ex,
we need
my
to blame
crush.
for being single. I love this one. I told you this one during the break. Kate Hudson. Blame Kate Hudson for all her romantic comedies. She plays that role so well of, and there's always this great love story in the movies that she's in. But the truth of the matter is it's just not real, and it's not realistic.
It's so sad to think it's not real.
Yeah.
You mean that love story doesn't really happen?
Are men sort of hopeless romantics too? Can they be?
I think so.
Are you a hopeless romantic?
Probably.
But you still keep up that cool factor where you just don't let everybody know that that's the way you are, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a fine line in letting it out and keeping it in. And also you want to keep it for that special person, too. You know what I mean? You don't want to go around bragging about it.
That's nice.
Am I getting points?
That's a nice thing to say during he says, she says.
Yourself
you're saving the whole gender.
I'm on your
Tony.
turf. I'm treading lightly.
Don't let it just lay it all out there.
Okay, the other person you have to blame is your father. It says your father or anyone else who may have taught you to believe that being loved means being babied and spoiled. Interesting. if you've met people like that, right? That are so spoiled and so babied because their parents coddled them.
I'm wondering if my sisters are watching right now.
But I think it's more, maybe I say this because I wasn't really coddled by my parents. Like, they taught me to be really independent. But I've seen guys that have been coddled by their mothers. And then they want a woman. Like, I had this experience recently with a guy I went on a couple of dates with, and he always told me, like, oh, my mom was like, she would just baby me, and I talked to her every day. And I'm like, and then he would tell me, like, are you going to, like, cook for me and do all these things? And I'm like, I'm not your mom. Like, this isn't like a substitution thing, except we are romantic.
But don't you, maybe to an extent, want a man that has a relationship with his mom?
But I don't want him to be a mama's boy to the point that, like, if it's between me and the mom, he's going to put us on... Like, he's going to compare us to each other.
So if you and the mom are both hanging off a bridge, plunging to your death, you want him to reach for you and drop
let me
his
die,
mom.
just make sure I'm in great shoes. Let me go. It'll be on all the newspapers.
Red bottoms up.
Yeah.
Tony, thank you. Thanks for being here this morning. You can catch Tony every weekday morning on 103.7 Light FM. Love listening to you.
We were easy, right?
You were great. I'm going to come back more often.
Simple.
We took it easy on you. It's the alcohol. Yeah.